everybody? Richard Dolan here for a courageous conversation.
Well, man, today you're right. There's no going back.
How do you feel the weight of that desire?
I have been there for a while.
The story's still being written, and you cut the story short. As they say, I'm playing with house money.
And it's funny because people need to laugh.
You just pass it through, brother.
Once you start a courageous conversation, there ain't ever going back to an ordinary one.
I don't think a lot of people get, and that's this, is there's something about professional players, particularly in the NBA, that are uber classy, are very humble and super grateful. Now, it's not the case across all of them. I've met a lot of different types. But you, my friend, exercise such a gentleman quality of uber respect.
I was raised like that. My parents, I respect everybody. Respect is earned, but it's also, you have to make me not want to respect you. Because we're all human beings. We all been through different struggles. We've done different things, gone to different levels, but that doesn't make you better than anybody. And that's how I approach everybody. That's how I treat everybody. And it means a lot because I want to be treated the same.
No, 100%. So I just want to make sure that everyone adds that down. If you're making any notes right now, these are not just courageous conversations, but these are coachable moments. One of the things I got to just say is I'm always enamored about Robert and his decorum. Write that down. Decorum is class. It's a sense of panache. There's gratitude there, but at the same time, and more importantly, he truly is grateful. And that's why anytime and every time I have a chance to find something to do or get something done with Robert, I call him up and we get to doing something. And we're working on a few things. Maybe we can talk about them in a few minutes. So with that being said, you end up getting introduced to a David Beckham. Of course, he and Victoria need a $24 million condo. That sounds about average to me, according to their net worth. But tell me, what are some of the other peripheral circumstances you've got to mind and manage? Because I don't imagine it's a straight line to getting a deal done. I'm sure people are attacking you and your credibility or your profile or trying to get in the back door. Explain to us how you're able to contain that relationship and fend off the negativity and all the vultures.
For me, it's simple because I don't surround myself with certain individuals and certain people with certain energies. We keep a tight circle, and this deal. We worked on this deal for 9 months. And, it was more so just getting the details and the numbers right on both sides, and timing, of course. But for me, I didn't have those issues really, because we kept it in-house. We kept everything on the hush, everything quiet, everything in-house. Everybody's on the same page, with the same mission and the same goal. So we didn't have those issues. It just was a timing thing just to get, the details right.
Now, by the way, I just want to point something out because, again, you're not going to see this as obvious as I do. But, I don't know about you, Robert, but I didn't notice you IGing any time with David Beckham. I didn't notice no posts of any kind, even the property in which you were having him consider. It truly was a great script kept under wraps, even until it was closed.
Right.
And you were then forced to make it the news because it was newsworthy.
Yes.
So I'm sensing that in the world that we live in, where everyone wants to post everything, and there's always a picture in the making, and there's always an anxiousness, a race to actually get it up, get it out. You've got to actually practice a bit of counterintuition, which is to say, I'm going to keep this quiet. I'm going to keep it selective. Is that true?
It's very true. Especially for a deal like that and somebody of that stature, David Beckham, Victoria Beckham are huge. And we did have one little hiccup where the paparazzi got a picture of them at the building way before the deal was closed, and it caused a little bit of issues. But we squashed that real quick, and we kept it moving. But yeah, the end goal was more important than getting some more followers on Instagram.
No, 100%, 100%. So I want you all to notice that sometimes when you're committed to the deal, rather than trying to be important, the deal happens.
Yeah.
But when you put a lot of time and effort and energy in being important, sometimes it comes at the cost of a deal.
Exactly.
And so I think I just really want to acknowledge you for that, where it's just very counterintuitive for a lot of people, where they're like, no, I'm in action. I'm doing this. I want the world to know that I'm important and I got progress being made. You ain't doing it for nobody. You got to be doing it for yourself. And that's really important.
Moving in silence.
Please.
Moving in silence too. One thing, moving in silence will keep the haters and the naysayers from messing up the deal. You know, the more you put it out there, the more you give people a chance to talk bad about you or talk bad about your client or whatever it is you're trying to do. Like, so I just practice that where until it's about to close or we've already agreed everything's been signed and our money has been transferred, then I'm not going to talk about it.
No, of course not, and nor should you. But one thing is for certain, and now this is consistent. I remember the last time we had a delight for dinner. We were chilling out in Miami, and your brother was with us, and we sat down, and within a matter of minutes, you remember what kind of deal we came up with?
I don't remember which one, because we didn't talk about something.
He says, "Hey, Rich, man, what do you think? $2, $3, $4 billion? We'll buy a piece of the Miami Heat. What do you think?"
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
I said, and he said it with such a straight face,
right?
Like I mean, a 3, 4, and we didn't even order hors d'oeuvres or anything. I mean, he just went straight for like, "Hey, Rich, what do you think about $4 or $5 billion for the Miami Heat?" And so in that moment, I was like, "Sure, that could happen."
Make it happen.
And but I want to just acknowledge you for something, because we really truly actually wrapped our minds around that day. So it brings up another conversation, which is leading into what you're really up to next. Before I get to big three, is to always be thinking big.
Exactly.
You know, it sounds like thinking big is always a big part of who Robert is. Would that be true? And if so, how so? Where else does playing big show up for you, Robert?
I mean, for me, I'm a why person. Why not me? Why can't I do it too? If it's been done by somebody else, why can't I do it? And you know, having the network that I have and been blessed to have, the people I've been around, and meeting people like yourself. I mean, we have access to pretty much whatever we need to get things done. It's just a matter of speaking it and putting it out there into the universe, and you know, putting the work in to try to make it happen. And that's especially more so now than ever, because of the network that I've been, the things that I'm doing now. I've had some conversations that I never would have dreamed of having in the last couple of years with a few different billionaires. And for me, coming from small town in Cincinnati, to, you know, some of the conversations that I've been in and closing the deal with David Beckham is just fuel to the fire for me. Like, we could do anything.
Now, what he's talking about, folks, is the power of proximity. That your network is your net worth. Like, I mean, do you think his deal is going to start going down in size or going up in size? Everyone point with me. Point with me. Don't spill your drink. No, go up, right? I saw you, Lauren. Randy gave you the double fingers. I don't know what that means, but we'll keep that friendly, Randy. Good to see you, buddy. So all kidding aside, but proximity is power. And I mean, I've had the delight of bringing Robert Hite to my 10X headquarters, Miami office. And I mean, I've introduced Grant to people before, but I've never seen Grant get so excited when it comes to meeting Robert, because Robert embodies so much. He embodies both performance as an athlete, but also a real estate guy, because he's in the real estate business. What was your experience like meeting Grant from your perspective?
First of all, Grant's energy is amazing. I definitely could. That's somebody I could be around that I would love to learn more from.
Well, we got plans for you, big guy. Don't
yeah,
you worry.
I'm excited too. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, no, I've been watching Grant, you know, prior to meeting him. So I follow him on Instagram, and you know, just been paying attention to what he's doing and kind of how he's doing it, and I love it. And I'm looking forward to us, you know, doing some amazing things together.
Well, one of the dreams and ambitions that Grant and I share for you, by the way, so I'm kind of letting a little bit of the cat out of the bag, but I want to get to a next conversation about where you're at right now that really is intriguing, is really taking a stand for being able to bring some great real estate investment education to the world of sport. I mean, I've been a huge proponent of that, as you know. My good friend, Juwan Howard, and I launched an initiative called P5 many years ago. I mean, that dude is... They don't come much more solid. Y'all must be growing off the same tree. I mean, you guys are all the same. Cut tight, beautiful people. Yeah, solid. He's good family. But I mean, understanding the role of real estate, especially in these times of concern and crisis where cash flow is king, is something that I know we'll be championing together to bring to all athletes across all leagues in sport. Is that still something that you want to do and are inspired by?
Of course. You know, like I said, I've always been intrigued by real estate, and now learning more about the business and how real estate really works, and how solid it is as an investment. You know, as athletes, we're not taught, especially young Black athletes, we're not taught about investments. We're not taught about real estate. We're not taught about talked about purchasing power and buying power and owning land. Like, so for me, it's something I'm passionate about because I know how many guys we can help hold on to their money, make more money, do things that they never thought of doing for their families and leaving legacies for their kids. So for me, it's huge, and I'm super excited. That's something I want to do right now.
Now that's what sets us up for the next conversation.